Well, thanks, Mark, for joining me.
Absolutely.
Yes, tell me a little bit about how you got started with Northwestern Mutual and what you offer.
Yeah, so I was in the nonprofit sector for bulk of my career
Okay.
and got into executive leadership and loved the work that we did there, but lost the way of working with people directly just because
Yeah.
of obviously helping run an organization. And so had the opportunity to get back closer to the one-on-one aspect of it from a service standpoint. And so started with Northwestern Mutual and built out my own practice. And what we do is we do comprehensive financial planning. And so
Okay.
we sit down with each individual to truly understand and identify what have we done to this point,
Mhm.
what do we want to do, and where do we want to go, and then really truly help identify what is the best pieces to put into place in order for us.
I love that. So how long have you been with Northwestern Mutual?
So I've been officially with Northwestern Mutual for about 2.5 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what does the team look like that works around you?
So we have a full team
Okay.
that partners with us. That is ultimately from more experienced advisors that can help on more complex situations,
Yep.
or have a little bit more experience, say maybe in some tax efficiencies or some other areas. And then we have a full team and suite of investment specialists and insurance specialists
Okay.
that are constantly watching market and trends and so forth within to make sure that we're putting the right pieces in place for our clients.
That's excellent. So if there's a new inquiring individual or family out there, what is the typical process for them to get started with you?
Yeah, absolutely. It starts with just a pretty basic conversation, and that's for us just to get to know each other a little bit,
Yep.
right? And for us to help identify what are some of the goals that we have.
For sure.
And so it starts with just to reach out for a conversation. We sit down, really go through a 3-step process. First step is that first kind of conversation of fact finding with each other and understanding where we want to go. The second step is then formulating with the hard data and that emotional data to build out an actual written plan that is kind of that pathway of where we want to go.
Okay.
And then the third step is talking about how do we either implement that or what are those next steps in order for us to start taking those steps towards our future.
For sure. Well, and it's such a complex environment too. So many things factor the market and the decision making and what's right for each person.
Absolutely.
So tell me about the clients. Who do you generally work with on a regular basis?
So I work a lot with oil and gas
Okay.
and energy sector individuals and
Okay.
engineers. So a lot of who I work with is actually not in the Omaha area.
Yeah.
Locally, it's a lot with engineers,
Okay.
but also really with families. That's mainly because where I can relate to, I have
Yeah.
a family, 2 kids, and love making sure that families are taken care of for the long haul. So
For sure.
really anyone in the Omaha area that is looking just to understand a little bit more about where do we want to go, and how do we make sure the family's taken care of long term.
Yeah.
That's what really fuels me and gets my passion going too. So,
Yeah, I love that. Well, and it hits so close to home. Tell me a little bit why Northwestern Mutual. So back when you were on your search for that next step, why did you end up there?
yeah, I really like the model and the values that our company has. We're a Fortune 100 company, and it really is based around relationship versus transactions. The other side of it is that we are not then what's called captive agent, meaning that we can also go and find what is the best piece if it's maybe not within Northwestern Mutual for each individual.
Okay.
That allows us to actually then customize and plan for each individual's goals and passions versus just trying to truly make it within our realm of within.
For
So
sure.
I really enjoy that aspect is it's truly a service that we can go find what's best for them versus trying to say fit a square peg into a round hole.
For sure, yes. Well, and you guys have such a reputation across the entire country. And so, how does that work? For example, if you work with a family, they're here and they decide to maybe move out of state or make a big change in their life, do you still work with them or is it very location dependent?
It's really up to the client,
Okay.
to be honest. We can serve anywhere in the United States.
Okay.
And so I have clients all over the country.
Yeah.
But yeah, realistically, it's for us to be able to serve them through the length of that. Now, if they wanted to have a local representation, the nice thing about Northwestern Mutual and the corporate culture is we can partner with each other within our company, so that they can have that local presence, but then also that historical knowledge coming from the advisor they started with.
Okay, that's good to know. So, in your free time, what do you enjoy doing outside of work?
Family's everything for me. So coach my son in basketball and lacrosse. My daughter plays volleyball, so we're at a gym, we're on a field pretty much
All the
12 months
time.
out of the year. So otherwise we like the outdoors. So we're big campers and kayakers and fishers, and so that keeps us busy. But realistically, our kids' sports schedule pretty much drives everything that we like to do.
That's amazing. Well, and the kids will keep you busy and
Absolutely.
enjoying life for sure. So let's say somebody's inquiring or wants to know a little bit more about you. What's a good way to get connected with you?
Yeah, they can reach out to me. My contact information is on my website,
Okay.
markperson.nm.com.
Okay.
or they can just look up Northwestern Mutual wherever they're at
Yeah.
and find an advisor that's in their territory. They could also reach out directly to me. Phone number is 701-388-4412. So
Okay.
happy to connect with anyone, even if it's just to be a resource or answer some questions. So truly look at this as a service role versus a sales role, if you will,
Yeah,
because I just like connecting with good people. Good people connecting with good people usually makes good things happen.
for sure. So last thing, what's the biggest difference that clients would get with you versus considering somebody else?
It's hard to say what other advisors would do with other
Yeah.
companies, but what I can say is we take the time to really understand what we want to achieve versus trying to say this is where you need to get to. And a lot of times, it's not always about accumulation of wealth. It's how do we strategically place assets in order for it to support our lifestyle long term.
Yeah.
And that's where that comprehensive approach comes in. So we're not just looking at, say, one particular area of, say, investments or insurance. We actually walk people through and we look at 25 different areas of focus in our planning. And so instead of just looking at one or two of those within that 25, we really take that whole spectrum to make sure that whatever we want to achieve is at the forefront for us to be able to get there.
Well, that's incredible. A comprehensive plan, yet still personal and
100%.
driven by the client's needs.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time today and for sharing about your business.
Absolutely. Thank you.